I used to watch porn every single day, hour after hour, watching every video on every site. What I didn't know was that it was affecting me in the worst way. This is my story. This is Reez Exposed.
Team Reez.
Genuine, relatable, engaging, and transparent. If you don't know what GREATTALKS stands for, that's it. In this video, the transparency part is going to be maxed out. Most people are afraid to be vulnerable with others. I'm not. I'm not proud of everything I've done in my life, but I also don't hide anything either. I'm comfortable with showing people the parts of me that don't belong in a highlight reel. And let's be honest, we all have them. I just want to be real about mine. One of those things that a lot of people hide is watching porn. I don't want to get kicked off YouTube, so from this point on, I will refer to that as adult movies. Now, contrary to popular belief, watching adult movies is not just something guys do. A lot of women watch as well, and you will be really surprised at the statistics of that. But the scope of this video is exposing my struggles with adult movies. So let's take it back to when it all began. During my childhood, I've had multiple run-ins with adult entertainment. Given the world that we live in, it's just almost impossible not to be exposed to it at some point, unless you're just extremely sheltered or you live in a convent or a monastery. My earliest recollection of adult entertainment came when I was like 4 or 5 years old. It's a very short story actually. I was with my cousin one day who is a year younger than me. I think we were at his granddad's house or something. My cousin and I were in the kitchen for whatever reason, and my cousin's granddad was in the back doing whatever granddads do. So my cousin was like, hey, look what I found in this drawer over here. Me being a kid, of course I'm going to go look. So I get over there and I look at it, and it's a magazine. So we get to turn the pages in this magazine, and all we see are naked women showing everything. Mind you, we are children. I had never seen anything like this in my life. So I'm looking at it, and it might as well have just been a Chinese dictionary because I didn't know what was going on. All I knew was that we would get in trouble if we got caught. So my cousin put the magazine back and we went back to what we were doing. That was only one of many run-ins I had with adult entertainment as a kid. If you've ever stayed up past your bedtime as a kid back in the day and you had a TV in your room, then you probably know what some of those channels showed during the after hours. I vividly remember watching a Girls Gone Wild commercial. If you don't know what I'm talking about, don't go search. It was just an adult entertainment infomercial that showed you what you can get for $9.99. I had to have been like 5 years old watching that. I remember after the first time that I saw it, I would stay up other nights hoping that I can catch it again, and I did. I had no idea what I was looking at, but I wanted to see more. So fast forward to when I was like 8 or 9 years old. This is a story of another vivid memory I have with adult movies. I was with another cousin of mine who is a year older than me. By now, you're probably thinking, dang, who are your cousins? But anyway, we were at my aunt's house in the country. We were there for a reason, but I don't remember why. We were outside playing all day just like good kids should, but eventually we got tired and came back in the house. All of the grown-ups were in the main part of the house, so we went to the back room, which was my older cousin's bedroom. He wasn't there at the time, so we were just basically in there doing whatever we wanted to do and playing this game. I don't remember how we got to this point, but the cousin that I was with ended up finding a DVD. And if I remember correctly, it was some blank disc with a title written on it in Sharpie. It was some typical adult movie name like Juicy Black Butts. And we saw that and we were like, that's very interesting. So we did what any boy in that situation would do. We immediately told our parents and asked them to throw it away. And you know we didn't do that. My cousin plugged in the DVD player that was conveniently lying around, threw the disc in, and turned the volume down on the TV. Clearly this wasn't his first rodeo, but I was along for the ride. The next thing you know, all I see is juicy. Let me not describe that. So let's skip ahead to when adult movies really became a problem for me. It was around the time when I was in the 6th grade. During that time, these came out. The iPod Touch. It was basically an iPhone without the actual phone part. Now we all know how groundbreaking the release of those were, so I don't need to explain that. I asked my parents for one, and I was fortunate enough to receive my first iPod Touch on my birthday. Now for the longest, I used it like any innocent kid would. I downloaded music on iTunes to listen to, I downloaded games from the App Store to play, and this was the first time I had access to the internet readily available to me. So I would browse the internet and watch videos on YouTube, no big deal. Then one day, I learned what email was through a friend, and I signed up for my own email address. Keep in mind, I didn't have a phone. I know today we have 5-year-olds walking around with the newest phones that can't even read yet. Times were different back then. But I did have a few friends who had basic phones and access to computers at home. This is the point in my life where my downfall with watching adult movies began. I would never forget this. I had a friend, who is actually still my friend to this day, email me something one day after school. We would typically have conversations through email, but this email was different. The email didn't have a title on it. There was no actual message in the email. It was just a link. So I opened the link, and that's when my life changed. All I saw was butt booty naked sex. At that point, it had never occurred to me that I had access to watch that at any time on my iPod. After I watched that video, I went back to that site every day for at least the next month straight. And that's when I developed a habit of watching adult movies. I would literally come home every day after school, and that would be the first thing that I did. I walked home from school, so I would always be home alone before anyone else got there. So me getting caught was never an issue. When I got to junior high and I was in the 4 stages of puberty, the switch for my interest in girls flipped on. This did nothing but add fuel to the fire. I was already still watching adult movies, but I started to watch even more. Like, I would start on page 1 of the website, watch all of those videos, go to the next page, watch all of those videos, and just keep going. Some days I hit like page 20 and beyond. I'd watch every category they had, and it would just continue to get more and more extreme. It was exactly as bad as it sounds. Now you may be thinking, how did you have time to watch all of this? I didn't. I made time. This was a problem for me, but I didn't realize it. And if that wasn't enough, then I started to share this with my peers. Some of you may know me personally from my younger years, and you may remember exactly what this is. There was a point in time where I had hours of adult movies downloaded on this. And what I would do is go to school, have groups of my football teammates with me, and watch it with them when we had free time. It sounds kind of weird now that I'm saying that out loud, but we were literally just horny boys. That wasn't a such situation. If you've ever heard the phrase, one bad apple spoils a bunch, that is exactly what I was doing in the literal sense. I was watching it, I had other people watching it, and everyone knew who to go to if they wanted to watch some X-rated content. I remember one time I was on a road trip with my family, and I was in the backseat being sneaky and watching it. Bro, I was watching adult movies while I was in the car with my family. I was down bad. So that was my life until I got to high school. Sometime during my freshman year, something clicked in me and said, this ain't it. Maybe it was because I was maturing, maybe it was God in me, maybe it was both. But one day, I just had enough, and I decided to give up watching adult movies just like that. I deleted every video that I was watching on this. I cleared my search history and I quit cold turkey. After I did that, that's when I really started to see why adult entertainment is bad. As a kid, I never knew the effects of adult entertainment. I just thought it was bad because I wasn't old enough to watch it and that I would get in trouble if I got caught. As a Christian, I learned that adult entertainment is bad, but never why. I just thought I was never supposed to see a naked woman or people engaged in intercourse. It's actually much deeper than that. And with my current knowledge and wisdom, I can look back at those times and see just how much they damaged me and why as a believer we are supposed to stay away from that. Let me just start out by saying this. God's design for sex was a gift, a beautiful gift to us. It was meant to unite two people as one in holiness. Now you might be thinking, sex and holy don't go together. Sex is more or less a dirty word today, and it shouldn't be. God's design for sex has been perverted and twisted so much that the connotation we have with it now is dirty. It was never supposed to be like that. What we see in adult films is not God's plan. The way those women are treated, abused, used up, switched out, none of that is good. And that's me saying it the nice way. Watching that type of stuff as a male, it teaches us that we need to be 20 inches long, literally beat a woman into a mattress, and do all this crazy stuff to her. Like I said, all of that is a true perversion of God's gift. If you've ever been to an adult website, I can pretty much guarantee you didn't watch this one video. And I can tell you exactly why. Lust never satisfies. That's all adult entertainment does. It fills your heart with lust. So you can't watch one video and just be like, oh, that's enough for me. You're going to continue to watch more and more. Lust trains you to never be satisfied. That's why when I was in junior high and I would see girls and basically undress them with my eyes, wondering what they looked like naked and bent over, I wouldn't just do that to one. I would do that to every girl I saw. Like, I'm just keeping it real here. I told y'all I do not care. Adult entertainment gets into your heart and poisons you from the inside out. That's the part they don't tell you. It polluted my mind, it polluted my heart, and it made me objectify women. I didn't care about their soul. I just cared about the T and A. And when you start falling into that trap, you start to live a dangerous life and don't even know it. And what you don't know is usually what hurts you the most. I'm not here to tell anyone what to do with their life, but if you can listen to my story and how it affected me and apply it to your life, it might lead you to make different decisions. The stuff that's in the Bible ain't in there to ruin our fun. It's literally for our protection. We just oftentimes don't realize it until after the fact. If you want to quit watching adult films, it's going to be a process to break that habit. This video isn't meant to offer practical advice, only to share my story. I have practical advice, but that will be another video within itself. If y'all want that, let me know by liking this video, leaving a comment, or personally reaching out to me. Life is better when you aren't living in the dark. Don't be a slave to this world. Live free. Easy.
Team Reez.
Thanks for watching. Click here to subscribe and click here to watch more videos.
Na 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 na